Hi, I got a comment by one of the viewers, and first of all, I just want to say hello to everyone, and I just wanted to say peace to everyone, and I tend to kind of think and talk slowly, so please put this on a faster speed, um, like I don't know, like 1.5 or something, so then it's easier for you to follow in an efficient way. So, anyways, I got a reply by someone saying that to my to my video that um, it just basically boils down to if you could demonstrate that your God exists and not what his characteristics are or so on. And I just wanted to say that this is wrong-headed, um, because God isn't like he's not like a like a thing or even like a creature like an insect or something that you could put under a like a microscope or just hold in your hand and say, see, look at this. So God isn't that. God is the cause of all existence. So you have to use your reason. Um, and if there was something that I could put in my hand and say this is God, then that the only thing I could say is that's wrong. That is not God, because because the cause of all existence cannot be that which has a shape to it, which has a limitation to it, which has you know, which is made up of a body. That by logic cannot be. Uh, it's like sort of like um I don't know, the one who created human beings. He himself cannot be made up of human parts. You know what I mean? So he's the one who created these things. How could he himself be subject to its limitations? It doesn't make any sense. So God gave us intellect, and we need to strive to use it, because we didn't create it. We're gifted with this, and we're going to be held responsible if we don't use it. And it's not a rocket science, very difficult concept. God cannot be subject to the things that he creates. And even if we want to get away from this issue of, you know, some people see, I'm just going to back off a little bit. Some atheists, they have issue with, they've had some bad experience maybe with some theists. And, let me just let me just give you my atheist fellow human beings some really important advice. God knows the heart of people. So when I say that theism is correct, I'm not simultaneously saying that every theist is going to be in a better place in the afterlife than every atheist, because a lot of theists are probably theists because they're just born that way. And a lot of atheists are probably atheists because they are, you know, they're also born in in an irreligious context. And our culture, it, our culture, our education, our entertainment, everything. It in the last like many decades, it revolves around non-atheism or even atheism. Um, so, um, but if someone, but it's better for someone to be a theist. It's more likely it's going to help. It's vastly more likely it's going to help them in their afterlife, because it's just wrong to be it's wrong to be an atheist. It doesn't make sense. It's irrational, because one is then saying that all of this mind-boggling reality that we see is just brute facts, all a bunch of innumerable amazing brute facts out of infinite possibilities. If God doesn't exist, we could have had infinite different possibilities, literally infinite. I don't mean like I'm saying this as a rhetorically. No, literally infinite different things could have happened if matter could have existed even by itself. First of all, it doesn't make sense for anything to exist at all if God doesn't exist. But even if we grant that, just as for argument's sake, if let's say things exist, it could have existed in infinite different ways, as long as it's not illogical for it to exist that way and not irrational for it to exist that way. It could have existed as, I don't know, a zillion different haphazard shapes of dust, or zillion haphazard shapes of dust, except 79 pieces of dust that were a little bit blue green. I mean, infinite different combinations of things, of just chaos. But what we're seeing is just this bewildering blizzard of signs of God. And the person commented saying, "Oh, it's not the issue about signs of signs. It's like, does God exist?" No, I don't mean to be insulting, but the person just doesn't get it, and a lot of atheists just don't get it. God is not a thing. He is not. You can't treat the cause of all reality like it's some little constituent piece of reality. That does not make any sense. And number two, we have to recognize that we're not gonna like understand God like He understands Himself, because we're not God. How? I mean, there's like a zillion things we cannot understand. How are we gonna understand the cause of everything? And I don't mean to understand God like He is. He's made up of parts, like there's other like mechanism to Him, because obviously God is not that. Now, again, to my atheist fellow human beings, I wish you all the best, but I think we have to be very careful that we will always slip into this accident of always trying to think of God like in terms of like some sort of, well, what makes God, like what makes up God or whatever. But we can't do that. You can't treat the cause of all existence in terms of some other parts, because God is the one who created those parts. It is literally illogical to do that. It's an illogical form of reasoning to even go that way. You can't. You have to stop and say that is the cause, the ultimate cause. Period. And and we shouldn't be surprised that we don't understand God further than yeah, we can understand God a lot, but what I mean is we can't understand God thoroughly, but we shouldn't be surprised, because I mean, we're just these puny people on this speck of a planet that is literally nothing compared to infinity, and we expect to know everything. How could one be more arrogant or presumptuous than that? So I apologize if I insulted anyone. I didn't mean to insult the person who made the comment. I appreciate her comment, and appreciate for her expressing her view. And we're all on a journey, and I want the best for everyone. Um and I take life as a test. It's a test. It's not surprising that there's so-called evil in the world, because it's a test. Just like you're not gonna. Is there ever a test that's supposed to be just fun? No. I mean, test by definition is supposed to be difficult to see, to test where one should go after the test, what one deserves after the test. So every day is going to be a test. Some days may be way worse than other days. But the wonderful thing about this life is that there's ease too. There's ease in this life too. It's not like a constant test, like you're taking a constant exam. Like in school, when you're taking an exam, from the beginning of getting handed that examination to the time when you put your pencil down and you get up, it's not going to be, you know, likely fun. But in